Hey guys, how's it going? Hope things are great with you. We are continuing Ketu in the amazing series. We're at the 8th house now. Ketu in the 8th gives strong qualities in solving problems because the 8th is the house of great problems. Problems which are very tangible like accidents, legal issues, setbacks, unfairness, humiliation, you name it. All the failures that we see now in this birth, in this Janma, is associated with the 8th house, and it happens not in a very expected but rather in an unexpected fashion, right? It just happens, which is why it's always deemed as the most dangerous of all the dushtanas, the 6, 8, 12. The 8 is the most scariest one to me because it is very real, very tangible, very just right in your face kind of thing. Okay, so Ketu is a graha of detachment, spiritual wisdom, right? It is a graha of discovery. So what happens when you have a well dignified Ketu in the 8th house? What happens? Okay, number one, it will not trap itself in a situation. When problem happens, people trap themselves into it. They blame others. They'll be in denial. They'll be in resentment. They'll blame God. They blame their family members. They blame everyone, since they have this problem, right? But Ketu, when if someone has a good Ketu in the 8th, they will not do that. They will say, okay, it's all right. I will solve the problem, but I'm not going to blame others. Right? So I'm not trapping myself into the situation. That's number one. Number two is they'll break problems into smaller chunks. Okay, they'll dissect it and then they will solve the problem in a small and sustainable way. If they do not take it everything one shot, they will break into smaller parts. The third is the coping mechanism. When problem comes, if it's beyond their league, okay, sometimes we have problems beyond our control, isn't it? Right? You just can't help it, right? When you're driving, somebody comes to knock you at the back. It's beyond your control, right? Now, when those things happen, and you just solve the problem. You don't have to be overly getting into stress and denial and blaming others and things like that. So Ketu, when problem happens beyond their league, especially with the 8th, it has a way to rechannel it, because it says, look, it is not my problem, it just happened beyond me, and so why do I have to worry? I just need to solve the problem, that's it. So I'm going to rechannel it something resourceful if I can change it. If I cannot change it, say suddenly something happens to you and you're bedridden forever, for example. I pray not to. I'm just saying, right? If it's a terminal illness, beyond your control, beyond your league, Ketu will just rechannel it, right? No matter what problem happens, even death, Ketu will rechannel it. It has this divine coping mechanism, right? That's a very powerful thing if you have Ketu in the 8th. Guys, I want to hear it from you. If you have this quality, that'd be great. The fourth is criticism. Okay, whatever criticism that comes, they don't bother about what people think. They have a objective. This is where they want to go. It is very constructive. Anything else are just useless appendages. They are not bothered. They are just fixated one thing and they'll just get the job done. All right, it's such a great thing to have if you really come to think about it, right? The last thing is, of course, problems are there to give us fear, right? The first thing when you have a problem is you get fearful, right? The fear factor is always number one. Ketu in the 8 removes that fear. It looks at the problem in its core, in its deeper sense. It says, okay, this is what the problem really means. I'm not bothered about fear, anxiety, what people will think about me, external factor. No. Let's just push it aside. What is the problem here? Okay, so this is the problem. Fine, I will solve it. So the fear factor would not be there, from what I can see over the years. Okay, so these are the 5 amazing things when you have Ketu in the 8. I hope this video will be beneficial for you. Stay tuned for Ketu in the 9. Thank you. Namaste.